Hello everyone and welcome back to the Cozy Chair. I hope that you are enjoying all of these stories. Now if this is your first one today, I want you to push pause and go back and listen to I Am Martin Luther King Jr. and listen about Rosa Parks and Jackie Robinson. And last of all today, I want to read you a story about a little girl that was your age when things were really tough. And this is Ruby Bridges Goes to School, my true story. So this is written by Ruby Bridges. That means she is telling the story of what it was like when she was a little girl. Now this is a pretty easy book to read because it's a level 2 book, but I still think it's powerful. Just because books are easy to read, or maybe they're children's books, doesn't mean they're not powerful. There's a lot of my favorite books are really easy to read. Well, look at this sign. We want white tenants in our white community. We won't go to school with Negroes. That's not okay. Yeah, this is a really sad story. But in the end, it's happy. So a long time ago, some people thought that black people and white people should not be friends. In some places, black people were not allowed to live in the same neighborhoods as white people. In some places, black people were not allowed to eat in the same restaurants as white people. See, white only. This sign says white only, and this says fur colored. And in some places, black children and white children could not go to the same schools. This is called segregation. That means they're keeping them separate from one another. The United States governor said segregation is wrong. People should live where they want. People should eat where they want. Children should go to school where they want. My name is Ruby Bridges. In 1960, I went to kindergarten in a school for black children. I liked my school. I liked my teacher. I liked my friends. Isn't she beautiful? She looks happy, doesn't she? A happy little girl. But there was a school for white children even closer to my house than the school for black children. It was the William Franz Elementary School. The government said Ruby Bridges should be allowed to go to the William Franz School. That means she's going to be the only black going there. In 1961, I was in first grade. My mother took me to the Franz School. Marshals came with us to make sure we were safe. That means she had police officers walking her to school. Isn't that pretty wild? Some people did not want a black child to go to a white school. They stood near the school. They yelled at me to go away. How would that feel if you were a young girl and people were yelling at you? Parents took their children out of the school. I was alone with my teacher, Mrs. Henry. All those students, they left. I loved Mrs. Henry, and Mrs. Henry loved me. I was a very good student. I learned math, I learned how to read, but I wish the children could come back, that they would come back. Months and months passed, then one day, children began to come back to school. At last, I had friends to play with. I was very, very happy. Look at all the children in that book. Don't they look happy? It doesn't matter that one's black and the rest are white. They can be friends. Many people have read about me in newspapers and books. A famous writer, John Steinbeck, wrote about me. He wrote that I was very brave. Oh, I love this picture. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt wrote a letter to me. The letter told me that I was a good American. Norman Rockwell was an artist who painted a picture of me. The painting has become very famous. I love this painting by Norman Rockwell. Well, I love a lot of paintings by Norman Rockwell. But you know what I love about this painting? Look at how confident she is. She's walking with her head up, and she's excited to go. And look, here's the U.S. Marshals. That's the policemen bringing her to school. But do you notice something else? There's a tomato that has been thrown. It's been splattered all over. It was probably meant to hit her. Remember all those people that were yelling at her and shouting at her going into school? Now I am a grown-up. I am married. I have children. One day, Miss Henry and I were both asked to be on a TV show. That was the first time we have seen each other in many years. Now we talk to each other often. Look, Miss Henry was so great in helping Ruby Bridges. change and helped that whole school change, wasn't she? Now black children and white children can go to the same schools. I like to visit schools and tell my story to children. I tell children that black people and white people can be friends. Last page. And most important, I tell children to be kind to each other. There's that last picture. I hope that you enjoyed that story about Ruby Bridges, and I hope that you enjoyed all of these stories. I didn't get to all of them, but I hope that you enjoyed all these stories, and come back and listen again, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.